My name is Richard van Hooijdonk. I'm a trained watcher, working, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Working for a couple of university and Dutch broadcasters. And today I take you with me in a new world. So I have 2 cats and a dog, and they both are chipped. So then I decided I want to do the same. So what you see here, I've decided to have an RFID chip injected into my body. And if you just can't stand it, just look the other way. And what you see now is it was very painful. I have a very thick skin. And now the chip is injected into my body. It's a needle with a chip, and now I'm part of the Internet of Things. So this means that when I'm connected, it means that it looks this way, right? So this is my hand. So if you want to shake hands after this session, it's possible. I'll let you feel the chip. But the thing is, I'm now able to open my door without keys, because I lose my keys every day. I don't need my iPhone. I can unlock my iPhone with this chip. It works, it's fine. So it saves me a lot of time and a lot of anger. I'm also able to start my new Tesla. This is my Tesla. I will get this one in 3 weeks. And Tesla and I, we're now connecting my hand to the Tesla. When I'm approaching the Tesla, it opens automatically. When I approach my hand to the Tesla, it starts automatically. So in the future, we will have chips helping us with all kinds of tasks. My passwords are stored when I go into buildings or the gym. I don't need keys or cards. Access is there. So it's very interesting. I also store my Bitcoins on my hand. They're $300 here, so if you want to have them, get my arm. And we see that in the future, I will be possible to wireless payments with my hands within 3 years from now. Because the chip I have in my hands is also on your business, on those credit cards you guys have. So this is a very interesting future. Let's go back. This is Isaac Asimov. This is Trend Watcher in 1964. He predicted we would have flying cars. He also predicted we would have robots, and also he thought of underwater cities and outer space factories. We would produce our products up in the air, and we won't have any problems. And people, men in the future, would look like this. And women would be 2 meters tall, shoe size 46, shoulders as a wrestler, and muscles like a truck driver. Thank God. Not all predictions come true. So we have to look further. Who did some ordering at Amazon? Did you guys order books there? Yeah, it's a great company. So what they did, they developed an algorithm called predictive shipping. They deliver the book even before you order it. They have the opportunity, the possibility to predict the next book you like, which is very interesting. This is Kiva, and these are small robots that help Amazon during their holiday seasons. And then it's packed into these kinds of self-driving trucks, and the whole process is fully automated. No human needed. For these processes, we don't need human. So when the truck can find me, because there's obstacles or can find me anywhere, they send out a drone, which is connected to my chip. And the drone will endly find me and deliver the books. So this chip will have an enormous future for the next years. So let's talk about robotics. And then I want to point out the WD-40 here. I mean, also in the future, things should go smoothly, right? She knows how I feel. She feels how I slept. And because I had a bad dream, she will hug me when I wake up. You're laughing, isn't it right? It's nice, right? So we will be able to manage our bodies to send signals out of these chips into other systems and androids. And in this case, when I come home, I have a wonderful evening because she knows exactly how I want to have my moves tonight. Read from the chip. She will have the knowledge. And outside, I have Robot Sam, and this robot knows exactly who can come in and who can go out. This is Sam detecting cars, detecting people. And he gets out of the data, out of the cloud, and small algorithms tell him which one is good and what people are wrong. So these people will help us in the future. I mean, she could be my personal assistant. She could be my manager, because she knows everything. We will have, in the future, we will have androids looking like people, smelling like people, And you might not know the difference in 10 years. So if you have a date in 10 years, just watch out who you're dating at specific moments. So it's a very nice future. So let's talk about Uber. Yesterday I took a taxi, and because I had to walk around and I didn't have the time. So in the future, it would be possible to do this with a chip. This is an example of self-driving systems. You see the guys over there? They're almost having suicide there. We will have the opportunity to call a taxi. My chip is connected to my calendar and knows exactly where I have to go. So why do I have to use my phone? I mean, let's say. So these self-driving systems will be very interesting. Cars will drive in specific areas. So my son is 3 years old, and I predict he will never have a driver's license, because in 2025 governments won't allow us to drive in cars, because we spoil a lot of energy, environment, a lot of collisions. So now I'm talking to my wife to get my son of 3 years old also chipped, because we can use that for the future. So we don't have any collisions anymore. Self-driving cars won't collide. So we don't need insurances to, take care of these cars. So looking at those self-driving systems, things will change. A lot of things will change in the future. This is a cow. And the problem is we don't have enough cows to feed the world. We will have 5 billion people living on this earth in the next 5 years. So I ate this is artificial meat. It tastes like meat. It smells like meat, but it just is meat. I will be able to print out meatballs shaped like a banana in a yellow color. And I will be able to send out all kinds of information, the right vitamins and the right minerals in order for me to get healthy, because these systems can read everything. Last year, I wasn't driving, cycling too much, so my cyclist called me and he said, I have a great bike for you, and he printed out this bicycle. He could read my chip, and he was knowing exactly that I wasn't driving too far. He also knew that my old bike was always almost broken. So he printed out this bike. What do you think would happen to those big bike brands? Giant, who are having big factories. We will be able to print bicycles, print engines, print everything. Everything ready while you wait. So the whole supply chain of factories, distribution, will disappear in the future, which is very interesting. But then I started cycling and my ear fell off because I fell. And then my doctor is now able to print an ear. We now have 3D printers enable us to print tissue. So my ear is saved and printed, and I can just, continue with my life, which is interesting. This guy is being delivered a week before it breaks down. And now I want to show you some examples of chips within, in this case, a coffee machine. This coffee machine will be delivered a week before it breaks down. Things will never break down again because they are part of the Internet of Things. They communicate about parts, and in time, people will receive new stuff. What do you think about elevators? They tell you when they get stuck. Things won't get stuck anymore. Things won't break out anymore because they're part of the Internet of Things. And data flowing into algorithms, and algorithms tell us what to do. We use a lot of water. I want to show you a couple of my family members. We use a lot of water. This is my dog, spoiling a lot of water every day. This is my cat doing the same. So they're both chipped. And these are my children, spoiling a lot of water. So we decided to install a smart meter, and with this meter we saved about €100 a month. We see water doing huge things on agriculture. Using agriculture sensor gives us the opportunity to save 80% of water with all those interesting new systems. And this is a drone flying over the field, and the phone is connected to sensors in those plants, and everything is connected into the cloud, and we know exactly what happens. We will have analysis of the field, knowing exactly what plants are right and what plants are going to be sick and what plants need water. And we will spray water with those specific drones. Everything here is connected to the cloud. Objects connected to each other. So, let's go back to my mornings. I just woke up in the morning. This is my mattress, my smart mattress. And the mattress remembers how I sleep, how I move. You can't buy these mattresses, but they're in development. But in 1 or 2 years now, we will have a lot of those mattresses. And I also have a Fitbit. And this Fitbit tells me about my body, blood pressure, heartbeat. And all that information also have a smart pill. I will swallow this guy in 3 months. And this pill measures about 140 values on my body. And when something is wrong, my family doctor's calling me instead of me calling him before it's too late. Bodies will be measured with those intelligent sensors. And then this pill sends out information to my fridge, my smart fridge. And it only orders the goods that are good for my body. I mean, this guy remembers that I need 3 milk, 5 tomatoes, and 2 butter. And when it's not there, it will order automatically. And it will look into my data, into my body. And these pills will help us getting more healthy. So my doctor also asked me there was something wrong with my veins. So he asked me to swallow the pill cam. And doing it, he is able to scan my veins and draw conclusions, which is very good for my health. So you see now, everything is connected. Data, cloud, algorithms. That brings us to another future. So in the morning I wake up, I go to the smart mirror, and the smart mirror collected all the information needed out of all of these devices. And we can even see what to wear and see how I am. And the question is, what is my family doctor doing? When I call him, he doesn't have any time. When I'm there, he doesn't have any idea. These devices will disrupt the whole family doctor business. So, another question is, are we really willing to trust on robotics and machines telling things about our health? How can we do that? Do we trust machines? And this is my house doctor. This is my family doctor. She's very nice, but only 20% of all diagnoses they do are based on research. So there's so much, they can know everything. They're not able to know everything. 1 or 2 patients, 1 or 20 patients in the US is misdiagnosed. That means that 1 or 2 don't have the right diagnosis of the doctor, which is horrible. People could get very sick and not knowing that. Every house doctor should have 160 hours a week to study all new medical research. They don't have the time. It's just impossible. We can't do it. So we need to rethink. Would a human be able to compare 650,000 pieces of medical evidence? Not possible. 25,000 pieces of training cases. It's simply not possible. Won't work. And the other story is, are we able to study 1.5 million of patient records? It's just not possible. So we need something different. And I see my sound is not working here. Someone here to work on the sound? No one? All right. So we see that in this case IBM, here it is. This is IBM Watson, but there's no sound, so it's hard to show it to you. Has the ability to compare everything. So we will have machines comparing everything we have, data, pictures, and people. And in the future, we will have these machines make us a lot healthier. This is the biggest problem. Healthcare costs rise 5% a year. If you all can count, I think you guys can count, most countries will be bankrupt in 2050 because they can't pay these costs anymore, which is a problem. So this is the reason why we need to take these into consideration. Everything will be interconnected. Systems, cars, factories, glasses, suits. Everything we do, everything we wear will be connected to everything. And the problem is, this is an example of the US Air Force. I also work for the Air Force. This is just a metaphor example. We have machines. They send the data into the cloud. The cloud analyzes these information, and mechanics are going to these machines and airplanes and replace them in time. So these systems can only work on robust, big systems. You guys know Blockbuster? 9,000 stores in the US. 9,000 stores. And they met Netflix, and they told Netflix, you guys are sissies. How come we're sissies? People will never download movies from the internet. People will never do that. People won't like that because they just don't do that. They are now 10,000 times bigger, and this company is bankrupt. They're gone with 9,000 companies. This is because they didn't see it in time. They did not see change coming in time. And it's going so fast. They use algorithms, cloud, smart systems in order to get their product to the customer. We see that to Airbnb and Netflix. They all use algorithms, cloud applications. So I think there's some big things going on. This is an example of an old storage house. You know, this is the way we used to do storage. And, you know, you might recognize it. And this is the way how we do it now, with modern machines, with modern capacity. And the thing is, this is Afra. One moment, I want to have some sound here because it's not here. One moment. No, can find sound. So, we see now that we recognize the Afra effect. When you're on television and your message goes viral, a lot of people will visit your website. You will have a lot of digital traffic. And we need to be ready for that. The other thing is we will have season effects. Depending on the season, the traffic will vary. So we just can't predict. It's just something that happens. So we need to be ready for that. There was done some research last year. The average large enterprise lost about 1 million last year because their storage was not okay. Their systems were not okay. And because they didn't have the right infrastructures, also the average small company lost 55,000 last year. So they need to put their infrastructures in the right way. So there will be a lot of data coming up. And in the future, we will see that we need infrastructures to handle the peaks and to handle all kinds of big things happening on digital. So the thing is that we live in the middle of an API economy. Everything is connected. The one is connected to the other. The one cannot live without the other. If we look into the future, we will see that more and more. Objects just can't live without other objects, without other APIs. Being connected to algorithms, to data sources. So the API economy is crucial. And to handle this situation, we need to rethink. And the thing is now, we see that 85% of new software being built today is for cloud. 85%, which is big. So in the early days, it was 20-30% or less. And now we see all those smart startups creating APIs, connecting everything to everyone, creating cloud applications. That's one. The other thing is that it means that this business grew 20% last year. 20%. It's huge. I have never seen an industry that grows so fast in so less time. So cloud is the biggest trend right now, and it is the layer that makes everything possible. We can do it without. I mean, of course we need internet, and we need Google Loom, we need balloons in the stratosphere like Google does now, and the balloons go there where we have no internet. Sri Lanka just contracted Google Loom because they did have a very bad infrastructure. So this is a very interesting figure. We also see now that it's about performance. I mean, if you look into all those connections, all those devices, everywhere, pushing a lot of data, pushing a lot of information to everyone. Forget virtualization. I mean, virtualization is only one thing that defines cloud. It's about bare metal services. And this is what makes the infrastructure ready to handle storing, crunching, analyzing. And the thing is, this volume of data of all those sensors, all those embedded services, makes it happen when we use cloud. It's more crucial than ever. So, in the next step, we see that you need a network. I mean, your company is everywhere, your people are everywhere, your customers are everywhere. So we need network. We need touch points everywhere. Everywhere worldwide, where we are in Sri Lanka, everywhere we are, we need points and network. So this is one of the biggest stories now. So the future is here. I think you've seen a lot of information, and we need it fast. It needs to be powerful, and it needs to be scalable. I now go to the end of the presentation. Who wants to touch my chip? I have all kinds of very nice stories about this chip. I'm experimenting right now with Bosch and all kinds of people who deliver goods in the kitchen, Tesla. And I try to get my life, myself, my body fully connected to everyone. My doctor is working with me, Tesla is working with me, and I want to join you also to try to do the same. Who would like this chip? Who would like to have a chip themselves? Who would like that? Anyone here? You want? Okay. I have a great address for you. And then we can connect both of us, you know? All right. So thank you very much. If you want to touch my chip, please touch my chip, right? Only my chip. Please. Just keep it there. I'm on the SoftLayer stand. I will be there for the next hour. So touch me. Thank you very much.